my core interest is about viruses, and majority of viruses we see are usually viruses that cause disease. But that's not always the case. Viruses occur naturally in all of us, in the organisms we work with, plants, animals. And that's a really understudied area of research. And so I'm still very much interested in viruses at the level of population, where they are covert. You don't see them, the population exists. And only on certain occasions you will see disease in these organisms. But the majority of the time, these viruses are relatively benign. You just don't see them. So understanding viruses in their natural environment, I think that's the core of my research, is understanding what do they do when we don't see disease. And then to do that, we develop new tools, we develop ways in which we can study these viruses in a population sort of level. And that requires a lot of molecular biology, new fancy sequencing techniques we develop. At the moment, we work a lot on honeybees. The colony is highly dynamic. At any point in time, there's 30,000 individuals. How do you sample this? How do you get access to these colonies? How do you process them? And how do you do it in a timely manner? It's no use you developing a technique that you can get to the heart of the question, but it takes 5 years. It doesn't help anyone. Here in Minnesota, we are looking to tackle the problem in a very different way. And one of the big key tools we are bringing in is sequencing. That's what we use to discover what's going on in the honeybees. When we did the sequencing, when we did the genomics, realized that every honeybee was carrying about 1 million viruses at any point in time. And when you put that all together, and over time, we found that eventually had a burden on the colony, which meant the colony would be in steady decline. And you wouldn't know that unless you did the scale and looking at the scale of the colony rather than individual bees and looking for individual symptoms. Beekeepers are now aware that, biosecurity techniques, managing a colony, making sure you don't spread disease from one colony to another, washing your hands, changing your overalls. Don't think that because you can't see it doesn't mean you're not transferring it.